what's up, guys? It's Lord Civic, and today we're going to be talking about Microsoft's recent acquisition of Bethesda. And the reason I want to talk about it now actually is because basically last week with the whole roundtable talk, Phil Spencer has basically confirmed now that all Bethesda titles going forward, like newer titles, are going to be exclusive to platforms with Game Pass on them. Now, with saying that, currently right now, Xbox and PC are the only platforms that allow Game Pass on them. Obviously, you can go down the rabbit hole and be like, okay, but if Sony wants Bethesda games on their platforms, they can do this and they can do that and they can make a deal with Microsoft that way. And we'll jump down that rabbit hole and speak hypothetically about it. I honestly don't think they will, but we'll get to that in a second. But this whole Bethesda thing is a atom bomb. I remember when it dropped, I literally was like, "What?" I was literally like in shock, and I don't think people like me myself, like after having time to think about it, I like even like Thursday, something clicked for me, and I was just like, okay, they can do this too now that they own Bethesda, and this is going to have huge effects on not only Microsoft as a whole and what they're going to do going forward, but I feel like it's going to have serious, not repercussions, but serious effects on the gaming industry as a whole. So with saying that, let's hop right into it. So firstly, I just want to say I am super excited for this generation of gaming because I feel like for the first time ever, gaming companies aren't all going, they're all competing against each other, I guess, for the same end goal, but they're all going about it a different way. We have Sony PlayStation over here making and pumping huge amounts of money into these amazing single player, heavily story driven titles. Last generation, they had God of War, Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, ending the gaming generation with Persona 5 Royal, the enhanced edition of Persona 5, which is just utterly insane. Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us 2, all within 1 year, man. It's unthinkable, to be honest. Then we have Nintendo in their own little corner. Honestly, I can just say the words Breath of the Wild, and that's just enough. But they also have, Mario, Pokemon, Metroid, Bayonetta. It's just insane what they are outputting. And then we have the PC side of things. AMD and Nvidia are doing amazing things, pushing the limits of what we can see in GPU technology, the newer DLSS systems, HDMI 2.1 support, ray tracing, all these amazing things. And then we have Xbox over here bringing this new thing to the gaming industry that we've never seen before, Game Pass. And that leads into my next point on why this whole Bethesda acquisition is a lot bigger than I think people think. Now, in this point of time, Xbox now has 23 first party studios. That is just utterly insane. It has gotten to a point now, obviously some devs are going to take longer to make their games than others, but if they become like a well-oiled machine, they can literally have one game coming out on Game Pass every month. A first-party studio. So it's not even thinking about like all the third-party games and like other deals and stuff that they can get into play. It's kind of like rumored right now that even Outriders might come out on Game Pass like day one. That's just crazy to think. But there's just so many implications on what this does to Xbox and Microsoft as a whole. Now, let's get a little hypothetical and start thinking this thing out, right? So now Xbox owns all of these IPs, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, The Evil Within, Dishonored, Prey, Wolfenstein. Those are some heavy hitter IPs, additionally to all the other ones they own. Those are some heavy hitter IPs. And now every single newer game in those series is now going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC. And not even just exclusive, available day one on Game Pass for $15 a month. $15 a month. You are now able to play all of these super crazy, like expensive games that cost millions of dollars to make, and you are now paying the price of two premium games a year. It costs $120. You are paying $120 and getting access to all of these games on day one by spending $15 a month. That is just utterly insane to think. Game Pass is worth way more than $15, and you hear again and again Game Pass is the best value in gaming, and there's a reason people say that. And this recent Bethesda acquisition has just made that value just go up basically tenfold. It is utterly insane to think what this brings to the table. Now, also, we are getting all of their older titles, Fallout 4, Skyrim, all these other things are now getting frame boost, auto HDR, and different stuff on the Xbox, and are now going to look better than they ever have on the console because of this. And this is another crazy thing. Microsoft has money, man. It cost, what was it, $7 billion or $8 billion? I think it was $7 billion. $7 billion for them to acquire Bethesda. For most companies aren't even worth anywhere near $7 billion. Or if they are worth $7 billion, that's literally half of their entire market share value. Microsoft has a bank. They got money to spend. Buying Bethesda, they probably bought it with cash they had on hand, to be honest. And that's going to tie into my next point with Microsoft having bank. We have had all these issues over the years with Bethesda games, especially the Elder Scrolls and the Fallout series, where people were like, oh my gosh, the game is so buggy, the community has to fix it. What is to stop Microsoft now with saying like, hey, we want our consumers to be happy, we don't want them to have any problems with bugs or whatever when the games come out, and be like, would it be better to just keep pushing out the games at the current way that they are in the engines? Or would it be better to, like, let's throw a couple of $1 million at the engine, upgrade it a little, fix a lot of these bugs in the hull, and, like, they can do that. They literally can throw millions of dollars of R&D to the engine just to get it fixed and for it to run in tip-top shape. In addition to that, now they have extra thousands of employees to do all these like cool things with, where they can be like, let's say Obsidian is trying to get out like Avowed, like that game looks insane. Let's say, hey, Bethesda, the Obsidian devs, we make a very, and I'm about to get into the like crazy point. I know you guys are like thinking it, but let's say, hey, we want to push out this game. We have a certain due date. Do you mind if we borrow, let's say, like 50 of your devs so we can get this out by the due date? Yeah, no problem. Hey, we want to make this specific game, but we don't have the particular engine to make it. Do you mind if we use this engine? No problem. They're all under the same umbrella. Microsoft now owns ID Tech Engine, the engine that made Doom and Doom Eternal. Have you guys seen that game not only run on PC, but the way it runs on consoles? On the Xbox One, not Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5. On the Xbox One, it runs at 1800p with, I think, a combination of medium to high PC settings at 60 FPS. On the PlayStation 5, it runs at 1440p upscale to 4K, and the Xbox One is 18p upscale to 4K. But it runs on the PlayStation 4 Pro at 14p upscale to 4K at 60 FPS. On the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, I think it runs 4K native 60. I'm not going to like get into that because I'm not specifically sure. But they own the IT Tech Engine, basically the industry standard of a tech engine in the industry. I can't even, like, that alone is just a huge thing, a huge get. And as I was about to say, and as I was kind of like hinting at it, all these crossovers and different stuff with all these companies being under the same umbrella, Fallout New Vegas 2 is a possibility. There is so many like crossovers that these devs can do. These people have like Doom, Halo crossovers, Avowed, Elder Scrolls crossover. Xbox is now like also the king of RPGs. They have Fable under the belt, Fallout, Skyrim. They have like these market leader RPG makers, and then also Obsidian's newer title, Outer Worlds, and then Avowed. Like, it's just crazy what Xbox is going to be doing this generation and the different stuff they're going to be bringing to the table. So the last thing we're going to do is speculate about Xbox Game Pass coming to other platforms. We're going to put on our crazy theory hat because obviously all of this is hypothetical and it's just me thinking it out. I think Xbox Game Pass coming to Nintendo Switch is definitely a possibility. Not only would it be financially beneficial to both Nintendo and Xbox, it would also fill out Nintendo's third-party problem with a lot of people saying, okay, yeah, Nintendo has all these first-party titles on their Switch, but they're missing out on a lot of third-party title stuff. Obviously, everybody on Nintendo Switch has Xbox Game Pass. I would feel like Nintendo would get 30% or maybe be 50-50. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not even going to like crunch all those numbers and think about it. But having like all those third-party titles additionally to like, let's say, Halo, Gears of War, Forza, like all, well, that's going to get into my next point. Some of those games I don't think can run natively on a Nintendo Switch, but xCloud is definitely a thing. Running a cloud version of a game on handheld is definitely a thing. We've seen that done with Control on a Nintendo Switch. And then also another thing that I don't think a lot of people are thinking about is it's been rumored for years, but it's basically being confirmed now that the Nintendo Switch Pro is actually a thing. And with that, it's supposed to be rumored to run on the same technology that we see in NVIDIA's 3000 series card, the Ampere technology. Think about being able to, again, I'm speaking hypothetically because I don't know how powerful Nintendo Switch Pro is going to be, but think about being able to play Halo Infinite, Starfield, Avowed, every future Elder Scrolls Fall game, on the go, on airplane, on a bus, wherever you go. That in handheld, like while you're lying in bed, you can be playing freaking Halo Infinite. That is just what? That's crazy. That's literally crazy talk. And it's just like I think that would be a good thing, and I really hope Phil Spencer is doing something behind the scenes to get that done because that would be some cool stuff. Now, what I don't think is going to happen for multiple reasons is Sony acquisition. And let's talk this through. Not even talking about like the relationship Sony and Microsoft have. I don't think they have a bad relationship, but I don't think it's as good as Microsoft and Nintendo's relationship. Microsoft and Sony are more so competitors than like Sony is to Nintendo or Microsoft is to Nintendo, because they are both like the upper echelon of power anyway when it comes to consoles, and they're more so directly competing of making these AAA titles that push the and push how far graphical technology or how big environments can be, and just like they're more competitors than I guess like those other companies. Now, in addition to that, Sony's already putting money into Microsoft pockets with, I think they're paying for the PS Now servers. I might be incorrect on that, but I believe that's happening. Now, if, let's say, Sony decided, okay, let's put Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation. Yes, they would get access to all the Bethesda titles and all the Xbox first-party things, but in addition, Xbox Game Pass is not just first-party titles, which also makes it so crazy because it also comes with third-party titles. So let's say, as I said earlier in the video, let's say Xbox Game Pass comes on a PlayStation. I said it was rumored that Outriders might come out day one. Sony gets 30% of every title, I think it's 30% of every title purchased on the digital store, and I think they also get a small commission of physical titles as well. There would be no reason for anybody to purchase like any of these games. Sony would be losing out on a huge 30%. Yes, they would get access to the Bethesda titles, but they would be losing out on a huge percentage of cash from third-party titles. They would all. It really doesn't financially make a lot of sense, especially with Sony. As I said, they're doing their own thing with the first-party titles. Like they have some heavy hitter games. And it's just like it's nice to see because like okay, Xbox is finally like bringing some like star power to the scene. It's just like it's gonna actually like raise the bar of like Sony what they're already doing. They're just gonna do even more amazing stuff. And it's just like this is what this whole video was about. Like I am just super uber duper excited to see what's going to happen in this gaming generation. I believe we are going to see some things like we've never seen before, and I am just super excited for the effects that this is going to have across the whole gaming industry. The bar has been raised. Xbox is in the hot seat. They are like just driving like they're just going full steam ahead, and Phil Spencer is leading them to the promised land, man. Like this Bethesda thing is huge. Like it is absolutely huge, and I can't wait to see how further it develops. I want to make more videos about this and just like videos about gaming in general as well. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, so I really hope you guys like it. I eat, sleep, and breathe video game news. So if you guys like what you see, please make sure to let me know. I also want to know your guys' thoughts on this whole situation, because this whole thing is this whole honestly this whole situation is just crazy, and I'm just super excited to see everything that happens going forward. Now, with saying that, thank you guys again so much for watching. If you liked what you see, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe button. With saying that, I hope you guys have a good day.